All right, good morning, folks. It is Thursday, December 5th. We're taking a look at NQ here. Pretty uneventful overnight session in the NASDAQ following yesterday's expansion move, yesterday's trend day. It definitely could be a slower session today, given that we do have NFP tomorrow and MCS as well. So a couple of larger, more widely watched data prints tomorrow. Yesterday was a trend day. We're at all-time highs. Could be a slower sesh. Could definitely be a little bit of a slower sesh. So that's kind of how I'm approaching this morning. Expectations in check, right? What I'm going to be looking at is how price trades versus that 21,500 reference point. Not quite a level of interest just yet. It's just purely a reference point. We'll probably see that turn into a level of interest, but for right now, purely a reference point. And like I mentioned yesterday in yesterday's stream, that's all we have to work with at the current price levels. Just reference points. That's just that's the nature of trading near all-time highs. Our nearest level of interest is down into 340. Now, with a little bit more time, probably another day or two, we'll start to see more structure build out, and we'll actually have some fresh levels of interest to be working with. But as of right now, it's just reference points. I'm looking at prior day structure, right? We've got that prior day volume point of control right there near 485. We have that 500, that 21,500 reference point. You can see how well that held as resistance during yesterday's session. So you have that nice push higher. We talked about in the Traders Think Tank the late morning afternoon base that was building, and at the time this was that overnight high. So some decent opportunities there, and then the breakout into the close. It's actually a pretty nice session yesterday from a technical perspective. Question for today is, can the buyers continue to defend this 21,500 area? Are we going to see, some retracement of yesterday's move? Are we going to see sellers try and fill this unfilled gap down here? That would definitely be interesting. I have no crystal ball, so I don't know exactly what is going to happen. But what I do know is the areas in which I'm interested in engaging with price. And as of right now, that's primarily the 21,500 area until we start to see some intraday structure build out. And we'll see what that looks like once it actually materializes. That's kind of the loose game plan for this morning. We've got the open here in 1 minute. So NQ currently trading just shy of that overnight high, which was marked about an hour ago or so. And that's at 537. So if buyers can break up through that 537 area, you may see a push back into that prior day high, 550. Now, the prior day range are definitely the prior day low, prior day high are definitely going to be two important reference points for today's session. Should price actually get into those areas, be paying close attention to the reaction into those levels. So that's the plan. Let's see this open here in about 5 seconds. NQ just shy of the overnight high right now. There's a little blip above the overnight high right into the open. Not in any rush here at all. No real overnight gap. Taking a look at that 5-minute regular trading hours chart. Price closed yesterday at 519, currently trading 530. So no real gap. Session volume point of control down here into 510. That's for the overnight session. There's your fresh highs. NQ up through that overnight high. Looks like you have some strength in S&P as well. There's prior day high being tested. Prior day high rejected. Opening 5-minute bar closes here in 1 minute. Currently shaped like a doji. So there's that first 5-minute closure. No real direction. NQ just kind of churning here near the overnight high. NQ coming into that prior day high again. 548.5. There's your new high of day being made for NASDAQ. So sellers defending that prior day high so far. More sellers at that prior day high. NQ coming into session volume point of control here. NQ has yet to trade outside of that opening 5 minute range, so just staying patient. Not a ton to do right now. NASDAQ coming into the lows. Volume tapering down quite a bit. There's no 10 a.m. data. I have a 30-point range here on NQ so far. Untradable, if you ask me. NQ, little bounce there versus VWAP. Back into that overnight high. Personally, still cash. Staying patient. Check out that volume. 15 minutes into the open, volume's already quite low, so well within the expectation of what we discussed prior to the session. Expansion day yesterday. NFP tomorrow. Yep, check out that volume. So current action is untradeable and NQ. Patience, do not get chopped up. Do not get chopped up. Need to see that NFP tomorrow. That should bring some, hopefully, bring some volatility. But this is not unusual for all time highs. All time highs trading. There's NQ with a new low. 10 till 10 a.m. See what kind of action we get into 10. Volume definitely improving. So you've got 500 down there as a reference point, and then the overnight low as a reference point as well. If price gets into those areas, worth worth watching the response from buyers in that zone. Still cash this morning. Still all cash. This is not my action right here. Don't know about you guys, but this is not for me. So just waiting. Very limited edge in the chop. There's NQ, new low of day. All right, there's NQ into 500. See if buyers start to materialize here or not. Keep an eye on that 15-minute bar as well. Then you do have that overnight low down into 489 on NQ. 2 minutes till 10 a.m. 2 mins. Undercut of the overnight low. Yeah, that'll definitely be worth keeping an eye on. That aligns nicely with that prior day structure. That prior day resistance point. Looking at the regular trading hour structure. See what 10 a.m. gives us, if anything. So far, what we know is the prior day high rejected. So that's kind of the main move that is currently underway. About 20 seconds till 10 a.m. here. No data. No data at 10 a.m. Just FYI. So don't need to watch for that. May see that session volume point of control start to shift here into 511 here within the next minute or two. NQ just shy of VWAP right there, following that 500 bounce. There's your session volume point of control shifting down into 511. .30 minutes into the session here. Pretty slow morning so far. NQ up and through VWAP. Nice little push there from the 500. Need to see that buyers are looking for this 520 area to be holding here. A little intraday structure right in that zone, as well as VWAP. Little VWAPy. Another nice push. So buyers are looking for overnight high, then back into that prior day high. Anyone end up in that long? Dom's in there. Session volume point of control shifted again to 528. There goes my trail. Well, that was decent. Take what we could get on a session like this. Intraday structure now shows a series of lower highs. So careful if the session low fails here. More clues that that 500 is going to end up being a level of interest rather than just a reference point. NQ retest of that 21,500 area holds as support again. No re-entry taken for me. personally on that retest. There's your little change of character intraday for NQ. Coming into that overnight high now. Now back into that session volume point of control, 530. Patience. Name of the game this morning. Staying patient. It's going to be very easy to get chopped up in these conditions if you aren't patient. More prints below the minimum threshold there. Take a look at that. A couple consecutive prints. Get the ATR right now, including overnight action, is 62 points. Good thing is we're able to expect this type of session before the market even opened. That is absolutely key. Russell Short's putting food on the table today. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. This might be a short one for me, folks. I'll probably give it another 15 minutes here. One trade on the day so far. Could be a one and done. One and done kind of day. One long in NQ. Yeah, tomorrow we should have more volatility, definitely. Hopefully. We'll definitely have more volume, that's for sure. NFP is usually pretty good. And MCS typically delivers also, so should be a good morning. Should be a good morning. One of the harder parts about trading, though, is keeping those profits that you actually make during the good sessions. Can't give them back on days like this. Cannot give them back on days like this. So don't force anything. NQ back into that overnight high. That's that first target area from the 21,500 bounce. Yeah, the chop is never worth it. Sadly, many have to find that out the hard way. But if you can just avoid these sorts of sessions, or at the very least, not do any damage, you're going to be way ahead. Remember, the market doesn't pay for activity, it just pays when you actually have edge. It doesn't pay you for clicking buttons. So we're just waiting for our edge to materialize, and until it's there, our job as traders is to literally do nothing. And that's it. It's the name of the game. Some sellers stepping in there versus the overnight high. We've got more prints below a minimum threshold here. More clues to just avoid this action altogether. All right, back near the lows. Coming back into that 500 area. Almost 1 hour into the sesh. We got Russell pushing the lows down through prior day low. You have ES pushing the lows. So we have more market wide weakness here. NQ not quite into the session low yet. Back into that 505 area. Personally, I'm holding off on any new positions here. All right, a few more minutes before we call it a morning. These are very, very low probability conditions. Not my tape. Not my tape at all. I'd rather see an undercut of the overnight low. If you're thinking spring, like to grab that overnight low down there for that trap kind of setup. Because that's a cleaner retest into that prior day structure. So that structure high from yesterday is right near 490, which is, I believe that's right where the overnight low is as well. Yeah, 489. So that would be my preference. That's the preference. Will it happen? Maybe, maybe not. What I don't want to do is like force a higher low sort of setup here and then be on the wrong side of the trap. I'd rather just wait for the trap. So that's more so why I was mentioning I wasn't getting involved right there. Yeah, this action's not worth the mental or trading capital whatsoever. At least in NQ. I'm not really actively watching Russell or any of the others. Yeah, not getting killed on a day like today is a tremendous win. So if you're flat or green even, that's great. That's great. Flat on a day like today is a win. The goal with these lower probability days is to just not give too much money away. On that note, yeah, I think we'll go ahead and call it. Absolute snoozer of a sesh, but if you were with us before the open there, I had mentioned because yesterday was an expansion day, trend day higher into all-time highs. You're usually going to have some compression following that sort of session. Any sort of expansion day, typically you're going to have that compression follow. So right now that's just manifesting as an inside day with very tight ranges, right? The current range is 62 points. And that's including overnight action, which is 22% of the typical range in NQ. So it's nothing. It's nothing. And then you combine that with the fact that, okay, we do have a larger economic data print tomorrow, something that is more widely watched. So is the market really going to put in a meaningful move today? It could, but my expectation is for no. So we just look for clues to kind of confirm what we expect. We see that through current price action and then very low volume. And we know, all right, not the time to be doing too much. Then from there, we just end up with one trade. Even if it's just 20 points, we'll take that. We'll call it a day. So thank you guys for jumping in. If you have questions, shoot me a DM in the think tank. Otherwise, I'll speak with you tomorrow morning. Take care.